Good evening, everyone, and I welcome all of you to SkillEnable's Fundamental of Python 3-day course. So this is the very first time we are hosting something like this, wherein we're giving like important topics like chatbot and facial recommendation system, and also talking about Python and its advanced theory and application of Python for you, and that also for free. So I hope all of you have a meaningful experience here and you get to learn something out of it. Please stay tuned till the end of the day one for today, day one course for today, so that we will be sharing a link for you to register for your certification for today's class. And if anybody who attends all 3 days session would get an entire 3-day certificate of fundamental of Python course completion. So technically, if you attend all 3 days, you're getting 4 certificates. And if you attend, maybe by any chance you miss out on a particular day, we can also send you the recording over an email for you to revise and revise the concepts again. So that was just all for right now. Thank you so much for coming. Just quickly introducing the trainer of today's session, Dr. Nihar Ranjan Roy. Dr. Nihar is a Python professor and mentor. He's also a very profound researcher and also a cybersecurity learning and computer network expert. So over to you, Mr. Nihar. I'll just give you the access right away, the hosting access. So thank you so much, Dr. Nihar, for joining us and just sharing you.
Thank you, Sejal. Thank you. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, everyone. Sejal, still I cannot share my screen. I need the co-host rights.
Sure, sir. Just 1 second. Shivam, can you give him the co-host?
Yes, I think it is done.
Done? Sure.
Yes, let me. Okay. So now it's my screen. I hope it is visible to all of you. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
What do you see on the screen?
Yes.
What do you see on the screen?
Your introduction.
Okay.
Hi.
Do you see my photo?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So my name is Nihar Ranjan Roy, and I am a Python passionate learner. And in the meanwhile, I share my experiences with Python, machine learning. I do teaching on competitive coding also. Right. My research areas include cybersecurity. I use Python there also. All right. I have around 20 years of experience. Right. So today, this session is with respect to data science, and I will be discussing some important concepts. But before discussing these important concepts, let us first make the platform, right? What is the need of the concepts that we are going to learn, right? Everybody focuses on the components. You learn some coding skills and you get the output and you feel very happy that you are a coder. But unless and until you understand the bigger picture, you won't be able to fit at the right place. So you need to learn the bigger picture also. And the bigger picture starts with this question. You know, questioning is very important these days. And if you do not know questioning, then you will not land anywhere. You know ChatGPT?
Yes, sir.
So what is so special about ChatGPT?
It is AI
Sir,
system.
it is an AI which can answer you any of your questions.
But it can answer any one of your questions, but the questions has to be meaningful, na?
Yes, sir.
And you will be surprised to know that these days the companies are also recruiting people who can ask the right set of questions. Right. So questions has to be right, and then you can go for the answers. If the question is not right, then you won't land with the right answer. Right. So the questions with which I would like to start today's session is, what do you think about or why data science is booming? I will take 5 minutes to set the stage, and I want you guys to be interactive. Is data science booming?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Why? No idea? Okay, you will have the answer now yourself. Let us look at this diagram. Let me see how good observant you are, how beautifully you observe. This is a very old picture. I mean, it's a IBM copyrighted picture, but yes, we can use it, no doubt. And it was by the year 2015, I believe, or 2014, 11. Now, here you see something called 40 zettabytes, 6 billion people, or 1 TB of trade information, 100 terabytes. Most companies in the US have 100 terabytes. 2.5 quintillion bytes. I know MB, KB, GB. I know GB, I know TB. I have additional hard disk of 1 TB, 2 TB. What is this quintillion bytes? And we are talking about only this quadrant, this section only. Forget about the other things. And these issues are created by what? Everywhere you see DATA, 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 DATA. And we are only focusing on one V, that is volume, size. What if it comes with variety? How you are going to handle? What if it comes with veracity? And what if it comes with velocity, speed? Then who is going to handle it? You know that most of the data that we have generated since prehistoric time, from the ages we started living in caves, and the data which we have generated in the 2 years, that is more than the entire data that we have generated since prehistoric ages. The tons and tons of data that we are generating. Right? Now, if this data is being generated, then should it be sent to trash? Delete it? Send it to the recycle bin, whatever comes? What is its importance?
It should be stored somewhere.
Okay. So I think these numbers are not clear, the volume. So let us see this. Bit, byte, KB, MB, GB, TB, petabytes, exabytes, zettabytes, yottabytes, brontobytes. Now you see how many of these terms you have heard. You might have heard use only up to this much, 1 TB. Or if you're working in a data storage, or if your office has some large storage spaces, then petabytes. After this, you might have not heard about these things. But these things are real now. Now let us see one other picture. Each day, global data created. Can you see? This is also old data, not recent data. Maybe 2-3 years back. 4 billion active users, 2.5 quintillion bytes are created in a day. 223 million emails sent. Majority of them are spams. Okay, how many of you use emails? Do you see a spam section in your email?
Yes, sir.
And the system itself identifies that?
Yes, sir.
How does it do so? And what if that classification would not have been done? All right. The people have already started working on it. That is why your life is easy. Now, 5.5 billion Google searches, 5.9 billion videos viewed on YouTube, 69 million photos uploaded on Instagram, Skype calls, websites, internet traffic, just to see. Electricity used, tons of CO2 emissions, right? Now you see these datas, even this CO2 emission is not from the vehicles. from your data warehouses. Okay. Now you see such amount of data is generated, and this is a very general source of data. Now let us see another one. Some more advancement. You use this one. 28 petabyte to be generated from wearable devices by 2020. You see, I have a wearable device. It can be connected to phone. It monitors my fitness, walks, steps, SpO2, heartbeat rate. Right? And how many devices are there which you are carrying right now with you? The phones.
It's a phone, smartwatch.
Okay. Okay. Now let us take one example. Do you have any idea about voice recognition system?
Yes, sir.
Now, earlier, 15 to 20 years back, there used to be software called Dragon Natural Speaking. And in order to give a command from your voice, we used to read paragraphs for hours and hours so that the Dragon used to understand what command we want to give. Now, have you ever wondered from where this Siri, Alexa, and Google Assistant, they have started understanding or taking our commands without training? Even if you give the command, they understand. Did you go to their office and give your voice samples?
No.
Then your neighbor, me, you? No, none of us. Have you heard anybody going over there and giving the samples?
Yes.
All of you have your Facebook accounts, Instagram accounts, but you see the landing page of none of us have the same landing page. Everybody has a different page. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
How this page is different from each other?
Based on the previous search.
Yes, Santosh?
It depends on previous search, what you are searching.
Previous searches, your internet history, your search records, your identity on different websites, maybe Amazon and Myntra and whatnot.
So the account is related, linked,
Right.
and
So
whatever.
you feel that you are being tracked.
Yes, yes.
So what all informations of yours is being recorded by the giants, tech giants? Everything, everything. If you hold a phone in your hand and you believe that this is your phone, this is your private property, forget it, forget it. This is not your private property. You have paid for it, right? The but data which is here, right, in this phone is not yours. And you never know who is listening to you, who is taking a snap from your photo, who's taking a video of it. It's very simple. Drop a payload using Metasploit and your phone is hacked. You may carry it, but everything, it is acting as a my agent now. Right. Now, the crux is that indirectly we are being spied, and you see even this data is being recorded. Then what is the volume? Everywhere there is a volume of data. Then who is going to handle this data? When I did my engineering around 20 years back, when I passed out, at that time, the nature of the job was automation. Write a code to automate certain things: school management system, hospital management system, library management system. The task which we used to do manually and using long registers and the pen, that was the era. Then kept website designing. But now these days, these things you won't find. They are already done. Now we need data from which meaningful insights can be drawn. Now, when you go on the shop and you see a bread and a butter in the same rack, do you find any relevance? Can you find any relationship between bread and butter?
Yes, sir. One cannot be used with the other.
Right.
Without
So
without
if you
the
go
other.
and purchase your bread and all of a sudden you see a butter, you get a recall that, oh, even my butter at the house in my fridge is going to be very soon short and I need to purchase it. So you will purchase a butter also, though it was not in your list. right? So indirectly the sale increases, isn't it? Otherwise, if you forget it, you might have to purchase it from some other shop, right? But this kind of relationship, can you find out what all relationships can be there among items? Can you find out a relationship between beer and dappers?
No, sir.
No, you, me cannot find it, but the system finds it out from the market basket analysis, from the data that we have at our disposal. In foreign countries, during weekends, people want to enjoy and they want to have carrot of beer. And during this period, they don't want to be disturbed. So they will put dappers to their kids so that whatever is there, let it be there for at least 2 hours and don't disturb me. And they want to enjoy it. So when they purchase beer, it is seen that they also purchase dappers for the kids. Now, such relationships cannot come from the intuition, but the machines are capable of doing it. And who will train the machines and who will tell the machines what is to be done? It is the new era of job opportunities, right? So you see, by 2026, data science and analytics would consist of more than this number of 11 millions of jobs. Unbeaten salary. The requirement is such a high that the professionals are not there with the right skill. Everywhere there is data, and this data is in tremendous amount. Old computational approaches are not going to give you what you are searching into the data. You will have to learn latest tools and the latest techniques if you want to bring meaningful insights from the data. And here is what data science comes up. All right. Data is the forefront of every decision in the future. Data is as precious as gold these days. The organization which has data has a superior edge. Now you see some of the companies which has been hiring from SkillEnable are this. There are more partners, right? But it depends upon your skills, how well you have learned, how well you have practiced, right? What is SkillEnable here? SkillEnable aims to increase access to top quality education in India and run specially designed employability focused courses tailored on the catering need of data science and analytics industry. So here we try to train the students with the skill set which is required in the industry with the case studies which are relevant, meaningful, and applicable. Now you see, classes are 100% online so that you can attend it from anywhere. The timings are as per your convenience almost. Placement is very good, as close as 100%. Experts, they have handpicked the experts who are there best. The courses are employability focused. And you see the best part is the payment. All right. Now, success in numbers, some of the success stories. Learners in data science program, 150 plus industry experts, hiring partners, average salary hike, meaningful career changes, highest hikes, and you see the highest salary that a freshers gets. Yes, you can get it this salary, or you can get a close to this one. How well you practice. Only looking at these numbers is not something which is advisable. If you have a dream, you can catch this, but you will have to practice the way we guide you. Some more companies, I think this slide is used. Now, in today's discussion, I want to discuss a topic which is called sentiment analysis. The stage is set, right? What is data science? What are the job opportunities? What kind of job opportunities are there, right? You can join it as a data scientist, as a data analyst, as a data analyst manager, right? BI analyst. There are a lot of job opportunities, right? Now, let us come today on the topic that I'm going to discuss, and my topic is sentiment analysis. That I will tell you how to do sentiment analysis. But again, give me a second. Can anybody tell what is sentiment analysis?
The analysis we do based on the sentiment of people, means based on the sentiment. Suppose somebody is purchasing something and there's a sentiment attached to it.
How do you do that? Suppose I went to the shop and I like one brand of biscuit, right?
Okay.
Potato biscuit. So how do you find my sentiment attached with it? I purchase Colgate. How do you find my sentiment attached to it?
So for a human, it's not possible. Maybe machine can do that, and maybe with the based on the previous purchase history, we can think about that.
Previous purchase history can tell you a trend, not sentiment.
Sir,
Yes.
The item you are searching, sir.
by analyzing their reviews.
Yes, Mega. Very good. Bang on target. Mega is bang on target, right? By analyzing the reviews. In order to give my sentiment, I need to give an input which you can analyze, right? Purchasing, yes, of course, you are right that with the purchasing also we can do that. And the companies are working on that. But right now, here we are not there on a level where the sentiment analysis can be done right from the purchasing, right? Till now, whatever we have been doing, we do it on the basis of the reviews. And these reviews are calculated or collected either from the surveys or from the websites or from their log records which are kept there, right? But as one of the gentlemen says that by purchasing, yes, we can do that also by placing cameras near the products, right? Because whenever you look at the product, your emotions are to be read and analyzed. What type of emotions you go through when you look at a product. Suppose I look at a product, I say, no, it's not okay. Now you read my expressions. Now, if I find something, right, you said if you get convinced by something, definitely most of the people try to give emotions, and those emotions are readable, except few people who are emotionless, right? So that can be done, but yes, the technology is not here, and yet the hardware requirements and the precision of positions of the cameras and the processing of large image files and the videos, that is quite daunting yet. And the accuracy is again a challenge, and placing of this much of infrastructure is costly, and more costly is the maintenance of those things, right? But we will go by Megha's words that by collecting the reviews. But before that, let us see a formal definition of sentiment analysis rather than by going by our own approaches. A sentiment analysis is a use case of something called natural language processing and comes under the category of text classification. To put it simply, sentiment analysis involves classifying a text into various sentiments such as positive, negative, happy, sad, or natural. So you see that it is part of something called NLP. What is NLP?
Natural language process.
The language which we speak is called a natural language processing, though this is not natural because by birth we do not learn it. Anything that comes by the nature is called natural, but over evolutions, we have learned our languages, and that we consider as a natural languages that we speak, right? And we try to extract from the languages which we speak or write, right? And especially in this case, write. And with respect to programming languages or the field of computer science, the stream which deals with processing, storing, analyzing of our commonly spoken language is called NLP. Natural language processing, right? So it comes under the purview of NLP, right? And here you see what sentiment analysis is. It involves classifying a text into various sentiments. So we need to have a text, and on the basis of text, we are trying to detect or classify the sentiment. Now, if it is text, then it must be written somewhere, right? And this written texts are nothing but the reviews collected over time. Right? Now, the ultimate goal of sentiment analysis is to decipher the underlying mood, emotions, and sentiment of a text. What kind of sentiment the text carries. Right? And this text analysis is also known as opinion mining. It is also known as opinion mining, another terminology that is used for the same. Now, the next question is how and where it can be analyzed. So let me give you an example, a very common example that we give. A product-based company XYZ sells perfumes of different fragrances, right? And now they want to vary the prices. Suppose there are 5 fragrances of a perfume that they sell, and the fragrances are A, B, C, D, E, right? And now they have decided that we will vary the prices. Initially, all the prices are kept as 100 rupees, but we want to increase the fragrance of the top sold item or a quality. And the item which is not sold most frequently or which is sold least, we will give a discount on it so that the stock can be cleared. Now, there could be different reasons for it. Maybe we want to reduce the number of products because it is having a cost, right? And if you see any expansion, if it is a horizontal or vertical, there is a difference between it. If you go for a horizontal expansion, the cost is high. If you go for a vertical expansion, the cost and the profit both are better. Now, in this case, increase the price of the popular one and discount for the less popular one is the purpose. Now, how do we do it? How do we do it? So the solution is collect the feedback from all the customers, analyze it, and take decisions. Collect the feedback from all the customers. So is this possible?
Yes, sir. Yes.
How do you collect feedback from all the customers?
So
No,
the
sir, it
data
is
that
not.
we can retrieve from the feedback might not be true because a lot of times we just casually fill up the feedback form.
Right. Very good, Arnav.
Feedback is nothing but an opinion that the satisfied customers or dissatisfied customers basically give the information as a feedback in order to improve their product, in order to lag the where they're lagging. It's a personal opinion that we never determine about feedback.
But can we collect the feedback of all the customers?
No, sir, no.
No, sir.
Practically, it's not possible.
Definitely
Okay.
not.
So we only go by the feedbacks which is provided to us. At least it will give some insights.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Right.
of course,
To some
it
extent.
And
but
it could be that someone said that the feedback may not be correct also. Right.
Yes.
There are few people whom you will find in your real life also that if they are going east and if you ask them where are you going, they will say that I am going to the west. Right.
Yes, sir.
And in statistics, we call such people outliers or false positive, okay, or the error, right? But if the number of customers is quite less, then such kind of people are very less, and that can be ignored, right? And we do not search for 100% accuracy. See, one of the popular statistician says that all the algorithms in this world are approximations, but some of them are useful. Nothing is 100% accurate. All are based upon probabilities and approximations, but still some are useful. Very, very much useful. So even we have a few deviations or wrong entries also, it doesn't matter. Overall, we will be able to get a result which still be very, very much helpful to us. Right? Now, just you take an example, exit polls. Now, when you give a vote and you come out, do you feel that everybody says the correct one? But still some of the exit polls are able to predict correctly with a plus minus of 5 or 10%, isn't it? And over the years, if you see their accuracy is increasing. Right? If you see 15 years back, there used to be a very high deviation. But these days, their statistical or sampling techniques also have improved. They have also learned from their mistakes. Right now, so we only go by the feedbacks which is available to us. Challenges are many. It is not possible to collect everything from the entire population. Right? Population means collect the data from every stakeholder, everyone possible. Right? But we take a sample and we believe that the sample is a true representation of the population. There are different sampling techniques, but in this case, the data which is at our disposal, we will go by that and see how it varies, right? Now, collect all the reviews in one place and perform sentiment analysis to it. Now, our task is that we will collect all the reviews. Maybe these reviews are available in different centers, different stores, different cities, right? We will collect them and go for a review. Now, while collecting this data, we have to be ensured that they belong to a particular geographical region, right? Because in certain cases, if the geographical region varies, then the results may not hold true. Now, note, what are the further challenges? The reviews might have incorrect spellings, grammar, and punctuations as it is in the real world scenarios. So if these challenges are there, we'll be able to do the review. We will be able to get the review correctly.
Yes.
But how does a computer knows? For example, good. If you write good or God, the computer will treat both the words differently. If you write GUD as good.
By using Google Translator.
Oh, no. Google Translator won't come here in the picture. It is you who are doing it.
So
Right. So
by
these are the
analyzing
challenges.
Sir, you can
by,
train
a-
it.
by
Yes,
analyzing
sir.
the entire sentence,
Please.
like
Both are different
by
words.
By auto correction, sir.
No, suppose somebody has written it and generally we don't go for by auto correction. If you see Google reviews or product reviews, we do not do those auto corrections.
By
And
using
how
a
many
bag
auto
of
corrections can you do? Yes, Megha.
by using bag of word dictionary.
What is this bag of words and dictionary?
Sir,
By using the keywords, sir, by identifying the keywords in the text they enter.
But good and GUD good, there you won't be able to find that.
There are
Like
some
words.
methods like stemming and lematizer.
Very good. So what is this stemming and lemmatization there?
Okay, that gives the short form of any word.
So what short form you get in good or GOOD? Okay, those who do not know, lemming and stemming and lemmatization are the techniques in which they'll take you to the root of the word. For example, reached. So the root word of reached is reach, right? For running, runs. Okay, if you give these words, the root word is run. So it brings the root word to lemmatization and stemming. But in this case, how do you do it? Right. So these are the challenges. Life is not easy, and life is not easy means it is difficult. And if somebody is going to do the difficult job for you, then you will be happy to pay him as per the difficulty level. And if you do this job as a data scientist, data analyst, right, data engineer, then you will be paid heavily. Right? These things are not that simple. अभी हम करेंगे simple चीजें start करेंगे, we will escalate it and you will find that the moment you feel that, okay, this is so simple, it is done, you will find that, no, this is not done. Okay. Now, where in other scenarios this sentiment analysis can be useful apart from this product? Importance, why we are doing it? There could have been many more topics. Why to do this? Any other application of sentiment analysis that you can think of?
so it can be used in healthcare sector.
How? Yes, it can be used, Arnab, but I want you to explain how.
So I can try. I'm not exactly sure.
No issues.
Like a lot of times, patients try to define their problems, but they are not able to define it correctly. As a result of which, the treatment might get misleaded.
No, Arnab, this may not be the right example, because if you see, if you go by the local languages spoken in India, especially, right, they use different kinds of words to explain the same set of problem. For example, if I have a headache, then the terminologies which they might use could be beyond your expectations. And there are a lot of humors also, right? How do you explain a headache in the local languages? If somebody is from a UP, somebody is from a Bihar, somebody is from Orissa, somebody is from a Bengal, and he lands up in a city like Delhi. And if they're not fluent, so these challenges are very much, and sentiment analysis over here may not be of use. Okay, let me give you some more examples so that you understand where it can be used. Sentiment, social media monitoring for brand management. Brands can use sentiment analysis to gauge their brand's public outlook. Gather all tweets with the company's mention or a tag and perform sentiment analysis to learn company's public outlook. Have you ever tried, if your complaint is not being resolved and you try to tweet it? Did you ever try? Nahi kiya na?
Yes, sir.
So what happened, Abhijit? Your experience once you tweet?
So I tweeted something about the IRCTC website. I was facing some difficulty while traveling. It was resolved very quickly.
Immediately.
Yeah, immediately it was resolved.
Right. So if you have any issue with the other companies also, marketing companies, sales companies, product companies, Myntra, Amazon, LG, anything, if your customer care is not handling it, you tweet it. And the moment you tweet it, within an hour, you will get responses. And not one, but 3-4 people will contact you and solve you, come to your door and solve you. Why? Suppose there is a company XYZ, very big company, and I say that your services is very poor. Suppose I've been cheated by your local agent. I'm getting a Wi-Fi connection, but one of the leading persons, maybe, for example, name change is Zio or you, right? Whatever it is, right? And you see, if I say that you have recruited cheaters and they have cheated me, they have taken my amount and it has been more than a month, the things has not been installed, the guy has run up. Now, what happens? What kind of things you draw about a company? You know that for good things, 100 people have to stand for a good thing, but for a bad remark, it spreads louder.
It will affect their bad effect to their company.
Right. So that is why they want to handle these cases as quickly as possible and as priority as, because they want to maintain the brand.
Yes, sir.
See, if your family reputation in the village, if you see it is quite old and big, the people in the nearby villages may be knowing you by your grandfather and the forefather's name. But if you see one bad name comes and everything is ruined. So brand is something, reputation is something which companies are quite cautious. And whatever product reviews people write about that, they go and analyze it. Where is the fault? What is the fault? If the sentiment is negative, not good, then how we can correct it? You might have seen that many of the companies, if there is fault in the product which they have sold, the cars, they bring back thousands and thousands of cars, they correct it and then resend it to the customers. Branding is very important. If branding goes down, then all your stock market will collapse for that particular company.
Yes, sir.
And they are recruiting people, data analysts, scientists. They have a lot of data these days. IT infrastructure is quite big in the companies also. Even the small companies are recruiting these people. My students go into these companies as an intern. When they come back and they see that the amount of job or the analysis they are doing, when to give the food chance, the small shops, they are giving discounts chance, and they analyze when to give, how their customers are behaving, what is the trend in the time series analysis, when to do and what to do. Now, another example, product service analysis. Brands, organizations can perform sentiment analysis on the customer's reviews to see how well a product or a service is doing in the market and make future decisions accordingly. Suppose I am a car making company and I have launched recently a product. So how many pieces of this product should I make, or how many stock of raw materials should I keep? It can be decided on the trend. If the trend is very high, I would like to increase the stock, complemented by the number of bookings also. It could not be the only criteria, but yes, it could be a supplementary criteria. Now, stock price predictions. If you know about stock markets and if you invest, you see stock market goes by the sentiments. If the sentiment is hampered even a little bit, the stock collapses. Right? They won't check about the facts. Very few people check about the facts and the fundamentals of the company. But it is the sentiment which quickly hampers the stock. And stock means money. Money means the market. Market means everything. These are the major examples which I'm giving. And what about this one? Anybody can explain this? Who will explain this?
Sir, by analyzing the media reviews, they predict their winning strategy or not.
And
by analyzing the media reviews, they predicted their winning strategies. Like in news, always there is the news of pre-polls, no?
so
They estimate the exit poll, right? So they estimate whether the party win or not.
I need to clean my image. 50,000 crores has been allotted by the party to clean image of Nihar Ranjan Roy, because the image has been tarnished by his previous deeds, or the other parties, or the IT cell of the other party has made jokes, fun out of Nihar, and his image is damaged. Now we need a hero. And in order to make Nihar a hero, I need to create a story, his good things, and I need to portray him as a warrior or a hero. So that branding of Nihar Ranjan Roy can be done. Have you seen this in Indian history? Don't name any party or anybody. Have you seen big, large funds being allotted for image whitewash? Right?
Yes.
Big IT teams are being recruited. Because these days elections are also fought on social media as well as on ground. Right? Both are important. It is not that you go by only one way and you win. There are multiple fronts where you have to do it.
So I have a
Yes.
query.
Yes.
So in all these 4 points, I noticed that somewhere or the other, there is some kind of herd mentality. Like someone initiates and the other one follows. So can we say that sentiment analysis is always required where there is herd mentality?
See, herd mentality can also be said, but it may not be herd mentality also. In certain cases, it can be driven. And there are other factors also, like the handles which are trying to create a herd mentality, right? Because if you see, there are people who try to take everything in one direction, right? These terminologies are also quite common when you do the analysis. But in order to do that, you will have to analyze the individual sources that you are collecting.
Okay.
You will have to exclude those sources.
Okay.
Right? You will have to follow up the people when you collect their tweets or the texts, so that those cases can be excluded. All right? See, I told you that collect the data and analyze it. It is not that simple. You need to pick the right data and you need to clean it, and you need to ignore certain things from that. Then how do you clean and how do you train it? That is important, Anna, but your question and observation is very good. Very good. Right. Now, let us move. So what are the techniques for sentiment analysis? The majorly available techniques which are there. One is rule-based approach. We will have certain rules. This approach involves use of predefined rules and lexicons to identify the sentiment of a text. A lexicon, what is a lexicon? A lexicon is a collection of words with their associated sentiment scores. Words, positive, negative, neutral, and as per the rule, you say that if yes, if yes, if yes, you calculate it. Right. Now, the next approach is a machine learning based approach. Now, what is this machine learning approach? There are certain machine learning algorithms, right? And these algorithms you can use to do your problem. For example, naive Bayes, support vector, random forest, and there are many more. Right. Now, what is machine learning? What is your understanding of machine learning?
So in machine learning, we trained our machine according to our requirement, and after that we test data to make predictions.
And what is artificial intelligence?
Machine learning and artificial intelligence. Both are little bit same, maybe.
Both are little bit same. Very good. Anybody else? Anybody else?
For machine learning, we can give the data prescription and everything execute according to that in machine learning. Compared to AI, they have own ability to think and they have own command.
Systems that are able to learn and adapt without the expression and interaction by using the algorithm and statics models.
Okay. So you see, AI terminology was coined around 70 years back, and it is the most wrongly taken word in the computer science. AI is mimicking the human mind or something which can have an intelligence as good as a human, right? But you see, till now, suppose you make something, if you make a robot and you call that this robot goes by AI. Now the robot, if you design it for playing football, it only plays football. It cannot play chess. It cannot play kabaddi. But a human being can play?
Yes.
All the games, right? We have been able to do, but in bits and pieces, right? Now, machine learning is a part of AI only. AI is a bigger umbrella, and in that bigger umbrella, there is something called machine learning. Within machine learning, again, there is a small circle that is called deep learning, right? But they all are part of AI only. So this machine learning, when we say that the machine learns, the machine doesn't learn anything. Basically, there are mathematical expressions. And for those mathematical expressions, we try to figure it out the values which will give us the accurate result, most accurate result. So in our model, the mathematical model that we create, there are certain variables, and we try to figure out the values for those variables. And once you get the right values, you can apply the input and you get the output. Right. So basically, we say that we are training the machines, right? We are training the algorithm, we are training the model. And during this training process, we are trying to explore the right set of values that will give us the better result. Right? Hope it gets some idea to you.
Yes, yes.
Right. We will see later on when you join the course if and what are these techniques and how one technique varies from the other. All is about mathematics and statistics, right? But very beautifully designed. The experts have designed it so beautifully, you will be mesmerized to see it when you start understanding how they convert into a solutions which is real life based. These are numbers, how numbers can give us this meaningful and applications and in almost every domain. So machine learning approaches are there, then hybrid approaches are there, a combination of with these two. Then again, deep learning approaches are there. Would anybody like to say what is deep learning based approaches?
So I can try. It is
Yes.
the use of artificial neural networks which mimics the human brain. Like I guess quantum computing is a part of deep learning itself, where the machine is trained in such a way that it can solve problems related to physics, velocity, speed.
Okay. Okay, Arnab, I will come to you. Deepika, I just saw your question right now. So you see, okay. This is, suppose you see, this is AI. In this, you see this portion is ML, and within this, you see this portion is DL. You can consider it like this, right? So AI is the bigger umbrella, the dream which we saw 70 years back, but because of the technical advancements and new mathematical approaches, right, we are heading close to that, right? Okay, but yet 100% till date also we have not been able to do so, right? In between, we are seeking help of ML, and within ML also we do have DL. Now, deep learning is something which is inspired from human mind neurons, the neurons which are there, the connections. This is known as ANN, artificial neural network. And there are again layers like we do have in our mind. And it has also evolved because, and this evolution has come in the last decade because of the improvement in the computational power, right? It is giving better results, right? But it requires great computational power, right? So deep learning approaches are also there, quite popular, right? Now, popular tools for sentiment analysis. How can we start with these tools? Which tools can we use? Can you see what are the popular tools? Python NLTK. What is NLTK? Natural Language Toolkit. It is a library which is there in Python, right? And it can be used to do sentiment analysis. It has pre-built sentiment analysis classifiers and tools for training your own classifiers. What is a classifier? Any idea?
Sir, positive, negative, neutral.
No, a classifier is something which classifies, right? Maybe you tell me to classify a pen and pencil. You tell me to classify oranges and mangoes, right? So it does. So here we have a classifier that classifies, right, emotions. Now, this is NLTK toolkit that we can use. Another library that is there that is called text blob. Okay, this is also a Python library, right? It uses pre-trained sentiment analysis model and is easy to use for the beginners. So if you are a beginner, we can go by this one. But apart from this, okay, Arnab, sorry, I cut your thing. You were saying something about quantum computing also. Could you come again? Deep learning and quantum computing?
Yes, sir. Like machine learning, we are training the machine to solve problems. But when it comes to deep learning, we are training the machine to solve further more complex problems which are not yet possible for the machines to solve by themselves. For example, like calculating the velocity at which the train is moving, like more related to physics stuffs.
No, this problem, what you're saying that is possible to calculate, right, using normal techniques also. But yes, there are deep learning approaches which are giving better result, but at the cost of high computation, right? And what about quantum computing? Quantum computing, it is a buzzword, but still if you see, it is far away, because in public domain, you cannot see any company which has created a quantum computer and which has been verified by the second party or the third party. Right. If you see the researchers who are working on the quantum computing, they generally give small programs on making of the gates, how quantum gates or qubits are being programmed. They're on a very, very elementary level. Everybody talks about quantum computing, but on the assumptions or on the evolutionary history of classical computers. So I've been trying to chase quantum computers since past few months, and I have interacted with the experts also, but still that is far away. But yes, once it goes up, then the biggest threat would be the security rather than this deep learning approaches and other things. Anyway, now there is something from IBM which is known as IBM Watson. That is also a very popular tool developed long back. And if you see the evolution history of AI, IBM has been one of the leading researchers. Researching team. Google has its own APIs also. Amazon has something. Even Stanford has some core NLP through which you can do analysis using Java-based NLP, and Microsoft Azure has also something called text analytics. So you see, looking at these things here, everything that we are trying to do is a text analysis. Right. And for text analysis, once you see one technology or a concept is developed, other fellow also develops it, and they try to do it in their own platform in a different way. Right. Now, what we are going to do today, we are going to do this sentiment analysis using a text blob package, which is a Python package. So what is this text blob package? The text blob is a Python library for natural language processing. Text blob for sentiment analysis is quite simple. It uses text as an input and returns polarity and subjectivity as output. Now, what is polarity and what is subjectivity? Try to see. Polarity determines the sentiment of a text, and it has a value range of -1 to 1. So if it is -1, then it is negative sentiment. If it is +1, then it is positive sentiment. And what about subjectivity? Subjectivity determines whether a text input is factual information or personal opinion. And it has a range of 0 to 1. So 0 means it is a factual information based upon facts, and 1 means it is a personal opinion. These two things are also sometimes very important. Now, in order to do this, we need to, what I'm trying to do here?
Installing the text blob.
Yes, this is a way we do install a text blob. And the second one is?
Voting.
Okay, so let us do it live. Let me open my
Python.
Yes. How do you code? Which tool you use for coding? Which ID you use for coding?
VS Code.
VS Code. Okay. What is the tool that you see on my screen?
Shell.
It's an ideal.
It's an
Ideal.
ideal cell. So most of you know this, right? So you see, this is an idle shell, also known as interactive Python shell, which comes with the Python. The minimum installation is required for this. So when you install only Python, no big downloads, no big installation, this is one of the fastest one. Of course, it will not give you the luxury of IntelliSense supporting you with the functions and other things. But yes, it is very good for beginners to understand what you code. So let me start my new file. And here I will write the script. And of course, I have installed my package called text blob. So let me import it for users from text blob, import text blob. It's capital B. Right. Now I need to accept text. I will I want to accept two text from the user, and I want to do a sentiment analysis on those two simple texts only for the time being, so that we understand the concepts well. So txt1 is equal to input. Please input a text review for the movie Pathan. txt2 is equal to input. Please. Oh. Input a text review on the actor from the movie. Now, two reviews I want to accept from the user, right? And I'm using text blob. So text blob gives two things. What are the two things that this text blob gives? Polarity and Subjectivity. What is polarity? Positive or negative, right? And subjectivity talks about factual or opinion. So let us see. So polarity P1 from the first text. How do I do it? So text blob. This is the object. You pass the text to it. So txt1, and from this you call its object called sentiment, and you call its polarity, right? And you assign it to text1. Similarly, P2 is equal to, let us copy the same thing here, and text2, and here text2, we do it. So we are getting polarities. Now for subjectivity, let me call it S1, and for subjectivity, we use the same thing, but with instead of polarity, we do it as subjectivity. Subjectivity, right? Then S2 is equal to text2 dot subjectivity. Now both are done. Let us print the result. So for printing the result, the command is print polarity for txt1 is comma E1, polarity for txt2 is P2, where I have stored S1. Now, in order to run it, I have to do it here, run module, save it. So let me save it as sentiment analysis TB text blob. Now run it. So no output. Why? Why no output? SATB.py input. Oh, great. So you see, please input a text review for the movie Pathan. My review would be the movie was slow. Second part was action oriented and interesting. Please input the text review on the actor. John Ibrahim was awesome, very fit, smart, and handsome as always. Done. Now you see the polarity for the text one. The movies was slow, right? Here it seems as if it is negative. The second part was action oriented and interesting. So it has some positivity, but you see it is on the second level, second digit, very less, very weak positivity, right? Now second text, you see, John Abraham was awesome, very fit, smart, handsome, and always. So it has a something called 40%, 41% of positiveness. Subjectivity, factual and opinion. So you see, if it is close to 0, then it is factual. And if it has a value more than around 70%, that it is highly opinionated. Right. So this factual and opinionated are the text which we are getting it from here. Now, what do you see from this case? What do you observe from this? What is your observation from this?
Sir, if we
Yes.
write review text in the some WhatsApp language, right?
Right.
Then
Then also we can do it. We will do it slowly. We are increasing it slowly. We will slowly increase the complexity. Right. Let us process one word at a time. Suppose you read
like suppose I am writing John Ibrahim was must. So how I analyze this type of language, like WhatsApp type of language?
Yes, very good, very good. We will have to wait for that. You will have to wait for that.
Okay.
Because must is not something which is there in the English.
Yes.
Right. And if somebody uses English, right?
Yes.
So how English is to be converted?
Yes.
Right. So similarly, for this, you will have to create your own bag of words.
Yes, bag of
Right.
words.
Right. See, something which is readily available doesn't fit your problem. Right. And these solutions which are available, these are all solutions which which are not in use in the real world. For real world, they will use very advanced techniques or the techniques which are very much customized.
Okay.
All right. No. So if you see, this is one of the very simple techniques, right? Similarly, another approach which is there for sentiment analysis is, you see, I have put here on the slide also. The movie was a one-time watch, later part was slow. Now you see, because of this review, the movie was one-time watch and the later part was slow. You see what is the polarity that I got? I got it in negative. I got a negative sentiment about it. John Ibrahim was hot and dashing. He is the best. Now you see 0.6. And you see the subjectivity. Right. Now, how the system has done, as you saw from the definition, it has on its own bag of words. What do you mean by bag of words? Can anybody tell?
Dictionary of
yes, a collection of words removing grammar and the commonly used words like is, the only words are there. These words are categorized into categories of sentiments, right? And on the basis of that, they are doing it. Okay. Now, let us see another approach. There is another package called WADR. WADR stands for Valence Aware Dictionary and Sentiment Reasoner. Right. It is a rule-based sentiment analyzer that has been trained on the social media text. It has been trained on social media text. This means if it has been trained and its library is updated, then it may handle the so-called WhatsApp kind of language. Right. So we will see later on. Like text of words, text blob, it uses Python. It is pretty simple. So pip install WADR sentiment. So this package is installed, and then let us see code, discard annotations, right? And let us code again. So recent here. This line will change, and this line will change to from WADR sentiment dot WADR sentiment import import sentiment intensity analyzer, zar or zar analyzer. Now, so I have imported this class called sentiment intensity analyzer. Again, except the first sentence, except the second sentence. And before doing anything else, I will have to create an object called sentiment. And the sentiment object has to be an instant of sentiment intensity analyzer. What I'm trying to do here in line number 5, what I'm trying to do in line number 5, what I'm trying to do in line number 5, no one?
Creating a function.
Creating an object. So sentiment object I've created and its function polarity underscores I'm calling. And here I will have to write the sentiment. Let this one be there. Instead of subjectivity, it's sentiment for text one is this. And sentiment for text two is this. Let me save it as a new name. No, let me run it. If everything is perfect, please input a text review for the moving Pathan. The movie was nice. One time watch. Highly action packed. Right. And good action scenes. And had good action scenes and has no review job awesome, my all-time favorite. Now, what do you see from this? What do you conclude from this? Okay, let me first explain the code that I have written here. The system is getting slow or what? Because of the streaming. Okay. 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 Now you see here, this is a package. Inside this package, there is a sub package, and from this sub package, I'm trying to import a class called Sentiment Intensity Analyzer. Then I'm accepting input from the user. The function that I'm using is input, and whatever the input user is giving, I'm storing it into two text objects, string objects, txt1 and txt2. Thereafter, from the class which I have imported, I'm trying to create an object called sentiment, right? And whatever the values that I've accepted, I'm passing it to the sentiment object dot the function, the member of the sentiment class, and the parameters or the argument, which is text1 and text2. Now, this which I'm trying to put over here, can you see what I'm trying to print over here? What is S1 and S2? So as you see on the screen, the output is like this. But what is this output? Technically speaking, this output is a dictionary which has key value pairs. There are 4 keys: negative, neutral, positive, and compound, and there are scores associated with it. The scores are between 0 to 1. So there is no negative sentiment in the first case, right? Then the score of the neutral sentiment is this, and the positivity is 0.5, and the compound statement is 0.69. Now, what is this compound statement? This compound statement is a weighted average of all the 3, neutral, negative, and positive, with the inbuilt parameters, right? Similarly, you see in the second text, you see neutral, positive, and the compound statement. You see neutral is less, positivity is high. As a result of the final or the compound score is higher. So overall, if you see, both are positive sentiments, right? So in the previous case, we got only simple polarity, right? Positive or negative. Right, but here you see the model is a bit advanced. You get negative, neutral, and positive, and any text may have all the components, right, with some values. But whatever is the overall score, that overall score will be given by these compound attributes, the compound key, which is stored in this dictionary as an output. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. So you see a little bit of improvement in this, right? Now let us move further. Okay, this is done. Okay. Now, the third technique that we are going to see is called using bag of words vectorization based model. Now, what this model does, in the last 2 approaches, we used simple Python libraries to perform sentiment analysis. Now we will use an approach wherein we train our own model. We train our own model, right? For the task, the steps involved in performing sentiment analysis using the bag of words vectorizations method are as follows. What are those? Bag of words means I have already a bag full of words, and on the basis of these words, where there is a score associated with these words, I will try to figure it out where these words fit, right? And then I will do the sentiment analysis. So first of all, you will have to pre-process the text for training. This means the text we do have, we will give it to the model so that the model can be trained. All right. Now, during this pre-processing, there could be certain steps such as normalization, tokenization, stop words removal, stemming, and laminizations. Now, what is normalization? Anyone who knows from the audience? I know in audience, we do have some of the participants who are quite good.
Lowering the text means converting uppercase into lower cases.
Not necessarily. Anybody else?
Sir, please repeat the question.
What do you mean by normalization?
Okay.
Filtering the data, sir.
No.
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, converting the text into normalized form.
What is that normalized form? I mean, when you are defining a terminology, the definition should not have the word.
Simple form, sir.
No. No.
The normalization means removing helping verbs. Normalization maybe.
Normalizations means, in a simple word, we can say that changing the scale. It could be that you have multiple features. Krishna, there is a noise from your end. Could you mute yourself? Krishna, we are not able to hear you. It was a noise, so I have muted you. Now, what is normalization? In the data set, there could be certain features which are not in scale. For example, suppose I want to compare something, say, age and the salary. Age is in the range of 1 to say 100, and the salary is in the range of thousands or crores or lakhs, right? So in certain cases, if we make an equation, then the influence of the salary would be quite high in comparison to the age, right? So what we do, we normalize the data so that they fit in a scale, equal range, without losing the importance, right? Now, there are different normalization scales, Z-score, logarithmic scales, and many more, right? So we perform those also. It is part of one of processing, pre-processing text. Then what is tokenization?
To create the text in form of tokens by inserting
token?
Tokens means remove the helping verbs.
So masking the sensitive data such as credit card numbers or debit card numbers.
Okay.
By inserting the commas after every word, that is called tokenization in text.
No. Tokenizations means breaking the big sentences into words, right? So you break the big sentences into words, right? Those are called tokens, right? And by default, space is the delimiter. So with the space, you break entire sentence into words. And from those words, you remove something called stop words. What are stop words?
Stop words means, sir, why is there
A commonly used word in every language.
Yes, the simple definition of the stop word is this only. But if you go for the formal definition, it reads that the words having frequency more than a particular range. So if you see in a paragraph or a sentence, in a paragraph, the frequency of the words like I, we, the, is, right, and is very high. So such kind of words should be removed. Yes, Arnab?
So are stop words a synonym for filler words? The words that we use to fill a sentence, like normal is, are, they, them.
Yes. Yes. Right. So we remove that also before processing. And then comes stemming and lemnisation. As I told you that we should remove the words or bring the words to its root form. Otherwise, it would be very difficult for us to process. Running, runs, right? Every such word should converge to run, right? Then create a bag of words, pre-process the text data using counter vectorizations, and we create a bag of words, and then train a suitable classification model on the process data for sentiment classifications. So you train it on a certain data set, and then you use the model to detect it. Now, here, if you are going for a classifications, it could be a supervised learning technique in which you have the sentences, you have the scores, positive, negative, neutrals, or whatever emotions you want. Though generally we deal with positive, negative emotions, but there are 9 to 12 emotions if you go into the research papers, right? They categorize a large number of emotions rather than confining it to this number of emotions. Now, let us see the problem statement that we are going to solve. The problem statement of financial sentiment analysis data set is predict the sentiment of financial news article or social media posts related to financial markets or specific financial instruments such as stocks or currencies. The data set consists of text data, which is labeled as positive, negative, or neutral based on the sentiment of the content. The sentiment may be related to the overall market sentiment or specific to a particular company, product, or event. The goal of the financial sentiment analysis is to extract insights from the large volumes of unstructured data generated by financial news and social media, and to provide an early warning system for investors and traders to make informed decisions. By analyzing the sentiment of news articles and social media posts, financial institutions can better understand the impact of news events on the financial market, predict market trends, and make more informed sentiment decisions. So in this case, we are given with an data, which is in an Excel sheet. The data has been collected from Kaggle, and we are going to perform a popular sentiment analysis technique called naive-based sentiment and technique on this. Now, in order to use this, you will have to install a package. And what is the name of the package? Can you look at the screen and tell? Yes, Sadie, tell me, what is the name of the package?
Scikit-learn.
Scikit-learn. This package is responsible for all the machine learning algorithms, right? So I'm trying to do pip install scikit-learn, right? You install it, and you need to install NLTK also, right? And then we do our coding. But how do you do coding? How do you do your coding? Where do you do your coding?
In ideal command, interactive.
Okay, you can do in ideal also, but I want you to go to somewhere.
Collab.
What is this screen called?
Yabba.
Okay, what is this screen?
It's a collab.
It's called Google Colab. Okay, Google
Google Colab.
Research Laboratory. Okay, and it is available in your Google Drive. If you log into your account, you go there, all the packages and libraries you will find already installed on it. You need to store your data on the Google Drive, right? And you want to run your code from here only. It is a notebook as good as your Jupyter notebook, right? But the only difference is that it is online, not offline, right? So in order to do this, what I have to do, I have to upload the data on my,
Google Drive.
Google Drive. So let me see, open notebook, upload notebook, rename, open in, locate in Drive. Tell me where I am on my Drive. So this is my Drive, right? And what is the location here? So the location over here is, let me see. Okay. So you see my Drive, Colab notebooks, and here I want to put my data. So let me upload my data, which is there in the Excel sheet. Upload, file upload. All right. And so data.csv, let me see. If you see, it is uploading here. So this data is uploaded here with the name of data. Now let us come here. Let me rename this also. Sentiment analysis using NB multimodal. All right. Now, now, Once it is done here, what should I do? First of all, you tell me.
You have to install that. You have to recall that data. Import.
Okay. So in order to read the data, which library I require?
Pandas.
Import pandas as PD, right? And after that, I have to click here. Pandas is a library that is used for reading data and data manipulations. So let us see if it works. First time it takes time. If you see here on the right hand side corner, it is connecting to the Google. Right? Connecting Python 3. Initializing the machine. Connected. Now you see I have got a RAM of 12.68 GB and a disk size of 38 GB. So this is something which is not available on your regular desktops. So people use it for this purpose also. Next line. Now, after using this, what I have to do? How do I read it? I need to import another library from google.colab import drive. All right. And then I have to write drive.mount content drive Google spelling mistake. Thanks that it catches. Google.colab import drive. Let me see if my drive is mounted. Now, the moment you run it, can you see this? Permission is required to access your Google Drive. So connect to the Google Drive. It will ask me for the permissions. So whichever email ID you're using it. So you click OK, give the permission. Now you can access the Google Drive and it is mounted. Right, now it is mounted. Now, once it is mounted, I need to read the data set. So in order to read the data set, let me create it into a data frame. So DF, data frame that we generally use. I need to write PD, or what I've given, PD dot read underscore. What was the extension of my file? It was what type of file? CSV file or Excel file, or what was it?
It was Excel file, XLS.
CSV. It was a CSV file, right? So PD dot read CSV, right? Now, what was the location of my file? If you see, the location of the file was into Google Colab notebook. So where is this Google Colab notebook? It is into content slash drive. Somebody need to mute yourself. Yeah, thank you. Now, so you see Google content drive, and within this drive, you have my drive, my space drive D with the capital, then Colab notebooks and Colab notebooks. And here you have this data.csv file. So this file is here. So now once it is done. Now once it is done, let us see if it is loaded.
So this content drive is the name of your Google Drive?
Content it is common for all. Even on your space, it has to be the same.
Okay, this
right? For everybody, it would be same. Tamil, shall we please mute yourself?
This content.
Yeah, this is common for everybody. Content and drive, it is common for everybody. This is a very standard location. Right.
Sir, Tamil Salvi is quite disturbing.
Yeah, whenever I try to mute her, she unmutes and starts it. Okay. Otherwise, I will throw her out if it happens again. Now, you see, this is common for every project and for everybody. So this is something which allows you to mount the drive, and within the drive, okay. So in you see, in Drive, you go for My Drive, and My Drive has a collab notebooks, and this is the folder where you have everything, all the
Yeah.
notebooks you
With
create.
My
And
Drive collab. This is also fix My Drive collab notebook. Okay, okay.
yes, 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 yes,
Okay.
yes. Because you see, whenever I created this file, you go here and click here that open locate in Drive. The moment you do locate in Drive, it goes into the same location. And if you see what is its location, the location is, you will get it soon, wait. The location is My Drive collab notebooks, right? And this My Drive and collab notebook comes under this content drive, and then My Drive collab notebooks, and all your data and notebooks are stored here only, right? Now, once it is run, you can again come here, and if you see our data is loaded properly or not, so oh, 5,842 rows, 2 columns. Now, what are these columns? Let me check. So df dot head is the thing that comes here. So you see first 5 rows of the data set, the sentences. So here I do have sentences, and then we do have sentiments associated with here. So from these sentences, the system has to learn, okay, that if such kind of sentences are here, the value will be positive, negative, or here. And here I do have around 5,842 records, right? Yes. So on this 482 records, we will be performing all the machine learning approaches, and we will try to classify this or try to give input, train its accuracy, and try to figure it out how to calculate the sentiments. Now here, this training is done from your end. Yes, Megha?
Sir, what type of sentiment we will use here to calculate the sentiment? It's either VEDAR, text blob, or what type of sentiment we are using to analyze?
Here we are using we are not using any other libraries as taken by text blob or VEDAR.
Okay.
Here you define it. Now this is an example of supervised learning. So by this supervised learning, now you see the data which you are giving. Mm-hmm. This is the sentence, and who has given these values on the right hand side? These values are given by the experts. These values are manually collected. These values are class values. These values are the predicted values which you have made your systems or the people you have hired that you please go through this and label this, right? From this labeling, you are trying to train your model. And this is why this is called a supervised learning, where you give this, okay, if this is this, then it is this. If this is this, then it is this.
Okay, okay. This data is to train our machine.
Yes.
After that, we test.
Now it is up to you, since here you see positive, negative, and neutral are the only sentiments. If you feel that you want to have 10 types of sentiments, then you give the labels accordingly.
Yes,
it is up to you. It is up to you.
It is 100% correct data.
Such labels are to be given by the experts, right? So when you are hiring it, you would like to hire the right person who gives the right label. Right. So it depends upon the label. If somebody gives a wrong label over here, then that would be wrong. But whatever you give here, the machine learns from here, and your predictions would be on the basis of similar training.
Yes, yes. Machine predict according to this data, no?
Right. So if here you have must or jhakas or whatever it is, the system will also learn. It is not going by the English corpus. Right? Because a word is a word, irrespective of anything. That is a token. And it tries to use the token to learn that. Right? So the rest of the things, how we are going to use, I want to cover this since it will take a time to cover this notebook and tune its performance. I want to cover it on the next class, that is tomorrow, and then we start a chatbot programming if possible. If we finish up with more technique, I would also like to tell you how to fetch the data from a social media Twitter and try to do the sentiment analysis once we are done with this. So I would like to hand over this session to SkillEnable team for question answers. If we have question answers, I can take 15 minutes of for question answers.
Hello, sir. Thank you so much for delivering this amazing session. So we can take questions regarding the curriculum, like the sentimental analysis, which you just taught right now. So maybe first we can take questions on that, and then
Yes.
I will share the certificate link on the chat box so that students can fill that up, and then we can wrap up the call.
All right. So if you have any questions from the content that I have taught, the technical content related to Python, the choice of IDE, Google Colab, or anything, the packages, the installations, because some of you know certain things which I believe, right? But those dots needs to be connected what I perceive. So if you have any questions, you may ask. Hope whatever I have taught till now you have understood.
Yes, sir.
Right. Slowly, from a layman's point of view, the first library, the second library, the third library, and you see this sentiment analysis, what Python teaches you or machine learning techniques teaches you, that is not end of the world. Even if you learn the best from here, you might not be able to get the everything. For example, see scholar.google.com. If you go here and you search what is the latest research that is going on. So sentiment analysis using gray wolf optimizations. So you see Arabic sentiment analysis using gray wolf optimizations. What is gray wolf optimizations? Now see something which is not implemented in your Python library. Somebody has to implement it. If you are into a company, you would like to implement it in your own way. Now, what is this gray wolf optimization? You see, wolves generally hunt in groups. And when they want to hunt a bison, what they will do, bison is very powerful. Right. So what they will do, suppose the bison is standing in this way. So one of the wolves will attack from the back. The moment bison turns to counter it, somebody else will attack from the other direction. And they work in a group. And they attack the bison in such a way that trying to defend nature-inspired computing or meta-heuristic computing, one of the approaches that can also be used in sentiment analysis, which is not implemented in the existing libraries. Right? So at that time, you will have to create your own libraries also. What do you feel? The libraries or the big companies which are coming up with such nice products, are they built on the libraries which is inbuilt and available only with the Python standard distribution? They have their own libraries. They create things from scratch. If you join a company, apart from these inbuilt libraries, you will be creating your own libraries, training or in your own data set. After you learn the basics, how a library is created, what is the working on it. Right. But still, how other things comes, you have to learn it, then only you will come to know the limitations. And once you know the limitations, that only you will find, or you will have the reason to innovate and find it out, or figure it out a new technique.
Sir, this sentiment analysis is possible in PHP?
PHP.
If our software is in PHP, then we can do sentiment analysis or not?
See, we do have a concept of deployment of machine learning models, right? So if you deploy on a website, then PHP website can be used to give interface to the clients. But this training and statistical thing, data manipulations using PHP is not possible. NumPy, Pandas, the facilities that they provide. For example, I wanted to see the dimensions of the data, load the data. PHP won't be able to load the data into memory like this. PHP is not meant like this. R can be used, Python can be used. And yes, wherever you go in the near future, you will find AI, whether it is your data science or BI or cybersecurity. You go on any road, you will find AI. And the only language to talk with AI is Python. So if you want to talk to Mr. AI, you should speak him only in Python. Because other languages, R could be there, but it is not that popular. I started my career with R, but I found out that Python has the advantage. So you have to learn Python from the scratch in such a way that you understand every detail, a dot which you write. By making a runnable code is not something that you know Python. So you see, even there are advanced techniques which are there into the research papers, which you will have to implement if you want to really have a different type of sentiment analysis. Any other questions? Tomorrow we will complete this task first, and then try to improve its performance, see other options, and try to fetch the data from a live media, store it, clean it, and then try to process it. Any questions related to the program and other things for the SkillEnable team? Regarding the program, courses, durations, placements, if you have.
So what's the duration to complete this course?
Yes. Sanchita, Sejal.
Hi, Megha. So to complete the entire deep dive in data science, AI and ML course, the duration is 6 months. But if you wish to only do the advanced level of Python with deep learning, machine learning, and AI, that is for 2 months.
Okay.
And we also have other flagship options wherein you have data analytics course and you also have business analytics course, which involves the foundation of Python. Any other question, guys?
Yes, ma'am. Can you tell us what is the cost of this program?
Hi.
Means this course.
So sure, there I would definitely want to address that to you. So we can do that over a separate phone call, and we can help you understand the cost pricing and its details. So you can just fill up the certification form so that we get your contact information, and we'll connect with you and we'll help you with all the details of the pricing of the course.
Thanks, ma'am.
Ma'am, I have a doubt.
Sure.
Actually, the thing is, while in the market there are so much of competitive, the thing they are providing the same service, and why should we prefer as a student to go with the platform like SkillEnable, ma'am? I know this thing.
So that's a very, very good question, Abdul. So to answer that question, let me just break it into certain aspects. So one of the most important aspect for any training is like, it being live online, right? So here, when you were attending this entire session, you could see that you could ask your doubts to the trainer at that same point in time, and the trainer responds to your query, right? So that's 100% live online training, wherein like, you get like the trainer shares his screen and explains you the concept like line by line. And that is one very important USP that we have is we only offer 100% live online training, which I think most of these competitors, they offer a blended approach into training, which we think that, if you have certain doubts, it might take you a lot of time to resolve. So blended training is a little difficult for a lot of people to understand. So this is one of our most important USP. Secondly, our curriculum is like very, very updated. Like we revise our curriculum according to the industry standards every 3 months to ensure that we are on top of the trend, and at the same time we're delivering something which is not obsolete in the market. Thirdly, very importantly, we charge 50% of the cost fee only after placement. So we are very, very sure about the fact that if the students perform well during the curriculum, like they attend all the classes regularly and they complete the assignment assessments in time, we do like 75 plus projects as the part of the curriculum only. So, and we have a lecture seminar approach wherein you have a lecture on the first day and you have a lab on the next day. So we make sure that the students have a very intensive and a core curriculum that they're completing. And at the end of the day, if they complete their aspect of it, then we also ensure that the placements are top quality and our students get placed into very, very good companies. Like, you must have heard about Honeywell. Then there is like Amazon, Flipkart, JP Morgan, EY, KPMG. So these are top, one of the top hiring partners. Apart from that, like we have many, many 550 plus hiring partners. So we make sure that we take the students through a rigorous curriculum and then ensure once they're trained properly that they get placed in top institutions and top companies.
Okay, means our classes will be on the weekend or weekday classes?
We have both weekday and weekend options, so you can opt for any. So you can choose, like if weekday suits for you, then the weekday classes are generally held. Some days also simultaneously. One second. Yeah, so I was just saying that we have both weekend and weekday options. So the weekday classes are generally held at the same time, and weekend classes are like during like 4 to 7 on Saturday and 4 to 7 on Sundays.
During these classes, just I would like to add, Sajal, since I'm also one of the trainers who train. So the participants are also allowed, given the opportunity to share their screens so that their PCs can be troubleshooted. Right. For example, if you have a code and if that is not working, then you can share your screen and we will troubleshoot it, the setup, either the code. And every session starts with the recap or taking up the questions from the previous sessions or the questions which you have tried to solve and you could not solve outside the class also.
Right, so any other questions, guys? Do you have any questions with respect to the course, the curriculum, the tools that we train in? Anything on those lines?
Yeah, what about regular timings, man?
Sorry.
Regular timings. What about regular timings? Weekdays.
You want the timings of the classes?
Yeah, both weekdays and weekends.
So for weekdays, the classes are generally held from 8 to 10 in the evening, so that we can also accommodate working professionals. A lot of our students are working professionals. So we want to ensure that it's timing is suitable for them as well. So on the weekdays, Monday to Friday, we have 8 to 10. And on weekends, the timing is 4 to 7 on Saturday and 4 to 7 on Sunday. We also deliver 40 hours of aptitude training. So like you guys know that a lot of multinational companies, they conduct a live interview, right? Sorry, live aptitude session, aptitude round, right? Wherein they ask you general questions on critical thinking, problem solving, maths, statistical knowledge, etc. So to ensure that our students can also crack that aptitude round of those MNCs, we offer 40 hours of live training on aptitude as well, which is very closely related to like GMAT or CAT kind of training, so that you are very, very focused on the fact that at the same time when you're learning the data science tools, you're also able to crack interviews at top companies via these aptitude tests as well. So we have these aptitude tests on Sunday from 11 to 1 every Sunday. And we also deliver like 20 plus hours of soft skills training on like, how to cater and tailor your resume into a aspirant or data science aspirant CV, or data science aspirant cover letter, your LinkedIn profile, your GitHub profile. So we have sessions on that as well, wherein we train you into making those your profile stronger to be aspirant for the data science role. So we have 20 hours of sessions on that, and that's also conducted generally during the weekend. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah.
Thank you. Do we have any other questions, guys? Anything else you would like to ask?
Yeah, ma'am. About tools, what are all the tools that you covered during the program, and how long it will be going on?
Abdul, like I can arrange a call for you, and they can help you understand in much more detail about the tools and the curriculum. But let me just quickly share my screen, and I'll just take you through some of the tools that we have. 1 second. Give me one moment, please. Just let me know if you can see my screen. So, yeah. Quickly, I'll take you through. 1 second. Yeah. So for our data science postgraduate program, the tools that we cover are Python, Jupyter Notebook, which is the library of Python. We have Tableau, which is a data visualization tool, SQL, which is a database administration tool, VBA, which is a Visual Basic Application. So it's the coding application and extender of Excel. You have Power BI, which is also a data visualization tool. So we train you in both Power BI and Tableau only because we want that, if our 50% of our hiring partners, they work in Tableau, and the other 50, because of COVID and Microsoft Teams, a lot of companies started using Microsoft Teams. Power BI became one of the most, used tools recently in the last couple of years. So as keeping in trend with the curriculum and what is being used in this industry, we're training you in both this visualization tools so that you don't miss out any of opportunities from either companies who's either working in Power BI or Tableau. Then we also have advanced Excel. We teach it from basics and we move on to the advanced level to Power Query as well. Then we have Pandas, which is again a library of Python, SkyFi. Then you have Keras, NumPy, Matplotlib, TensorFlow, Skitlearn, and Python. So these are the tools that we train holistically in for our data science course. We have few tools, which is few libraries of Python, which we do not cover for our data analytics course. So you can see the tools here. We have a business analytics course, which covers like most of the important tools in the business analytics domain. So it's mentioned here. If you can just quickly take a look at it. And the other tools are all mentioned here. So you can definitely visit our website and you get more idea about it. And secondly, I'll just arrange a call back for you, and the team will connect with you and will help you with all the details.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. Definitely. I'm waiting for that.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Anything else, guys? Anything else you would like to know? Please fill up this certification form that you have that we have sent on the chat box. Just send a thumbs up on the chat box once all of you have filled the certification form so that we can just wrap up the call. Okay, Raktim has finished it. Others? Okay, Santosh is sending me a thumbs up. Guys, if you want your certification for today, please ensure that you're filling up the form. As a response to the form in your email, you will also find the meeting link for tomorrow's session. So it's a 3-day session. So do attend all 3 days to get your concepts cleared more deeply and you understand the concepts well as well at the same time. So I think most of you have filled up. I have received a lot of direct messages wherein I've received a lot of thumbs up and yes comments there. So I believe all of you have filled this up. So thank you so much for attending this session. Thank you so much, Dr. Nihar, for conducting this session in such a beautiful way. I think student found this extremely interactive, and thank you so much for delivering it in to all the students. It was pleasure having you with us, and thank you all of you for attending the session, and you guys have been very patient and very interactive. So I hope this was a good learning experience for all of you, and please attend tomorrow's and day after's session so that you understand the entire concept. We look forward to having each and every one of you tomorrow and day after as well. So thank you so much. Have a good night. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Good night to all of you.
Good night.
See you tomorrow.